Browns Super Bowl contenders?
I think he absolutely would. And this isn't so much such a great credit to everything J.J. Watt can do, as much as it's realizing the Browns were 4 minutes, 30 seconds away from being in the AFC Championship game. Like, let me remind everybody, the Browns were 5 points away, 6 points to be the win, 5 points away from being in the AFC Championship game. The Browns were not far off this year. Let me remind you all, first-year head coach for the Browns. First-year head coach, third-year quarterback, no offseason, and the Browns went this far under Kevin Stefanski in year one. I'm not going to sit here and assume that they're going to regress. Not when Joe Burrow's coming off an ACL and MCL and every CL injury. He's not going to be
Mercedes CL.
Like, straight up. Like, Joe Burrow has a long recovery.
Yeah.
Steelers don't even know who their quarterback's going to be. So as I look at it, the Browns are clearly favorites to compete to win the division or win the division.
Okay.
Right? So now if you win a division, you win the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Now, where are the Browns lacking? An explosive receiver. Oh, wait. Odell Beckham was hurt this year.
Coming back.
Oh, he's coming back.
That boy gonna be
Where
good.
else are the Browns lacking? Pass rush. Yes, they have Myles Garrett, but they're only 15th in total sacks. They got a dog at the defensive end position, but you know this as well. You know this better than I do and better than anyone else. If you got another dog up front, another beast up front, that allows everyone else to eat even more so than they were eating already. So J.J. Watt's only going to let Myles Garrett become better as J.J. Watt becomes better in addition to that. Does J.J. Watt make the Browns Super Bowl contenders? Absolutely, but they were already championship contenders in the AFC. J.J. Watt just give them that extra bump they need.
We're going to disagree on this one. Nino? No, he doesn't make them a Super Bowl contender for various reasons. One, where the Browns are and adding leadership and 5 sacks ain't closing that gap, bro. I'm sorry. I love you, J.J. Watt. You're going to have to do more to even add to this team that needs to do more itself. Let's be real about this situation. The reason why they're not going to do more is because we still don't know how good they are at the quarterback position. I remind you that Baker Mayfield is the king of inconsistency. I got to talk about Baker Mayfield having a good year. Bad year. Good year. What comes after that in that sequence? Remember the Wonder Lick? Bad year. Oh, man, I hope not. I hope he doesn't have a bad year, but I have to remind people who Baker Mayfield is. Remember he had those 24 straight games without consecutive 250 passing yard games? Remember it was like good Baker, bad Baker, for over a year plus. Do I have to remind people that in their division, the Baltimore Ravens exist. In their division, the Pittsburgh Steelers exist. And you laughed at the CLs of Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals, but they're in that division as well. Look at Baker Mayfield in the division, because Baker Mayfield loves to beat up on those Bengals, but other teams in that division, not so much. Look at this. Oh, does he have a 74 completion percentage against the Bengals and then it drops to 58 against the Ravens and the Steelers? Still got to play them. How you going to win the division? You can't play well against them. Oh, what about your touchdown-interception ratio, 5-4? 5-4. Interesting. What about your passer rating? Drops down from a 129 Bengals, 77 Steelers Ravens. I know that they're a good team, even though you can look at the record and say that the Steelers had a better record. Let's talk about Baker Mayfield. 5-1 against the Bengals in his career. Want to know what he is against everybody else in the league? Everybody else? 18-21. Wait a minute. We got to play more teams than just the Bengals. And J.J. Watt's going to go out there and say, I'm here to save the day. Because I'm going to have to save the day. Baker Mayfield over the last 3 seasons, only Jared Goff has more giveaways than Baker Mayfield. Hey, bro. 5 sacks ain't going to close that gap. So make it make sense for me, Acho, right now, until I can right the ship with the proper captain that I can believe in, that will be consistent. He's not closing that gap.
How I will make it make sense is this. I'm going to hit you where your heart hurts. I'm going to hit you in your heart.
Where?
I'm not going to bring in all of Josh Allen's career statistical marks when talking about the very next year.
They improve every year. You should.
Because this past year is vastly different for Josh Allen. 43 total touchdowns, then them 10 touchdowns in 2 year one.
He don't do that. That ain't Josh Allen. He don't like those roller coasters.
So Baker Mayfield, Marcellus, he's shown us at least this year, the most recent year, in the most recent games against the Steelers, who he beat twice in back-to-back weeks. He's shown us recently what he's capable of, but I'm not going to get sidetracked. What I'm going to focus on is this.
Yeah, don't do
Last 8 Super Bowl champions, they had a top 8 scoring defense. The Browns were 21st in scoring defense. Where do the Browns need to improve? They need to improve defensively.
I get that.
J.J. Watt, I'm not saying that this is 20 sack J.J. Watt.
What
but
is
the
it?
Browns don't need a 20 sack dude.
Oh.
They were 5 points away from beating the Chiefs. Did Patrick Mahomes play? He got knocked out. But the defense had to knock him out. He didn't just willingly leave the field. So the Browns are not far off. Also look at history. Remember Calais Campbell? He came on the show just 2 weeks ago. He joins Jacksonville. Jacksonville adds him and a few other pieces. They move up exponentially in scoring defense. All of a sudden, AFC Championship game. You add defensive line, integral, talented pieces, even if they are vets. They can make some noise. I'm going to end like this. J.J. Watt, 5 sacks this past season, 4 sacks the year before. But when's the last time the Texans had a dog up front to take some pressure off of J.J. Watt? J.J. Watt's not going to have to be it all in Cleveland. He's just going to have to show up and eat off Myles Garrett's scraps. I think he is the difference maker.
Man, boy, stop. He ain't no difference maker because it's not just about one player. I mean, he's going to come in and help solidify the defensive line, which is already amazing because they got Myles Garrett in the building, who's a tremendous talent. But Baker Mayfield, man, he's really your issue. 2 of the 18 games, he eclipsed 300 yards passing. 2. You know why? Because in Cleveland, this is the formula. Less of Baker is better for us. That's what they do. They run the ball, and then they hope for the defense to go out there and save the day and say, Baker, manage this until you can fully blossom. Has he fully blossomed? And think about the path in front of him, even if he has. Kansas City, Buffalo, what? Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, not going anywhere. Steelers, we'll figure that out. But the point is J.J. Watt added to that mix going to be enough? My notes right here say no, sir, not at all. And my last point, which is crazy about it, is Baker Mayfield is not accurate enough yet. Like, when's he going to get there? You say don't bring up his history. Well, okay, I won't bring up that he's 29th in completion percentage and 26 in passer rating since he got in the league. I won't bring that up. I also won't bring up the fact that
bringing it up,
only 5 quarterbacks had a worse completion percentage than this dude. And you said don't bring up his history. I won't. Only 5 quarterbacks had a worse completion percentage than him last year. J.J. Watt and them 5 sacks and the Captain America flying in trying to save the day. Ain't gonna work. Coming up, we'll tell you if Russell Wilson is happy with Pete Carroll.